What's going on, y'all? We in the car. I got y'all something. Don't worry. I really don't know what this little stain is, but I don't like that for me. This is not gonna be a long one, I don't think, but I definitely got you guys something. Y'all know that I'm not gonna go eat and not think about you, so here we go. Let me get in the camera. This is super random, and I hope I don't offend nobody because it's funny. One thing about it, these older white men, baby, they love these braids. No matter where I am, and I'm being funny, when I tell you, and I'm thinking like, I know people get braids all the time. But when I tell you, everywhere I go, people compliment my hair. They're always like, I love your hair. You're so pretty, da-da-da-da. I mean, Hispanics, Vietnamese, this is like real life. Older white men, black people, black girls. And I'm just like, I don't really see what the hype is, but thank y'all. This is going to be backwards, but Honey Baked Ham, let me put y'all on. Some of y'all probably already know. You can go to Honey Baked Ham during the holidays and get you your little 1-2. Okay? But you can also go to Honey Baked Ham. Some of y'all probably know. And get you a yeah. You understand? Okay. You can get you a sandwich if you bruh man, or a sandwich. Tomatoes. I think that's provolone cheese, a little lettuce. I'm not really a big lettuce person. The only time I really will eat lettuce is it has to be a certain type. I'm not a shredded lettuce fan. Then of course you got their classic Honey Baked Ham. Now we know it's not grandmama in them, but don't y'all know Honey Baked Ham do they big one. Don't do that. So I got you guys. I asked them to cut it in half. One for me, one for you. This is gonna be really, really quick. This pertains to relationships. We kind of still in our little relationship type of talk. But so when I was in there getting my order, and I saw that they had the King Hawaiian sweet rolls. If you know, you know. You can get it from Walmart. You can pretty much get it from any grocery store. Y'all know the Hawaiian sweet rolls. Listen, don't be in charge of the rolls and you bring the savory ones. We don't want those. When you get in the Hawaiian King rolls, it needs to be sweet. We do not want the savory butter ones. No. So I saw that they had those in there. And granted, like again, we can get it from the grocery store. Granted, they probably get them wholesale. And sometimes small businesses really don't. They're not really a small business. But sometimes businesses don't do that. Businesses will go to the grocery store just like us and buy whatever they need until they can get their order or whatever the case may be. But the point is, when I saw that, I'm like, wow, Honey Baked Ham is a pretty well-known brand, and they have the King Hawaiian sweet rolls. And I know I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but here's what I noticed. There is so much power in joining together, working together, because they're known for their ham. Of course, they have other things like macaroni, soups, etc. But when I saw that, I was like, even businesses understand the power in working together, coming together, utilizing another business. Because again, if you know, you know. You ain't had a sandwich till you had a sandwich on a Hawaiian sweet roll. Baby, changes the game. You could do listen, I love Hawaiian sweet rolls so much. I will, especially when they real soft, I will break that bread in half, take butter and a spoon and just spoon that butter in it, and I will eat it just like that. You can make a sandwich with it. I done put chicken, hot sauce, mayo on there. I've made a turkey sandwich before. I've ate my spaghetti with that on the side. It hits every time. Now, obviously, they don't make that brand, clearly. And I was just like, if we just understand the power of learning to work together, even in challenges. Again, this particular video, now I don't know why I said again, because I haven't said this yet, but I've said in my other videos, when I'm talking about something specific on a video, I understand people could kind of watch it and be like, well, she didn't say this. What about this? Or what about that? What I'm talking about in the video is what I'm talking about. So for this particular video, obviously we don't want to just say you should compromise and just deal with anything. That's not what we're saying. Y'all like, give me a bite. Sorry. I just running off at the mouth. I'm not saying, oh, and we had the little chips. I got y'all the original, the little sea salt. Y'all know what? Do y'all remember when baked chips, I'm pretty sure baked chips been out longer than I discovered, but I remember when baked chips really became a thing. They used to be disgusting. I'm like, who is eating those extra hard, crunchy chip? But now, I don't mind them. But remember they had baked Cheetos? It was like, It was like when them rice cakes came out. People was on them rice cakes hard, baby. My mama stayed with them. The regular, original, the cinnamon. I would be like, girl, that was that Weight Watcher stuff. But anyway, the purpose of this video is for you to basically understand that you have to learn, if you know that the person in your life, whether it's a family, whether it's a relationship, whether it's something at your job, if you know that it's beneficial to you, here y'all go. Oh, y'all want the corners? Y'all want to start off in the corner? I got y'all. If you know it's beneficial to you, and you know that, yeah, we have some bumps and some bruises and some little whatnots, but you know it's worth working through. It's worth talking it out, having a discussion, agreeing to disagree, or just disagreeing and still saying, listen, it's okay, we just don't agree, whatever the case may be. It's such a benefit in working together. Now, y'all know I'm fat because, and y'all already know, when we do our food videos, beware. That's why I put in the comments, let's eat. Who's gonna hear a little crunch, a little munch? It's okay. You know I'm fat because before I even took a bite, I started saying, just fat. Honey baked ham felt like working today. I think I'm gonna go back in there and say that man I love him. He did that. Thank you, sir. Y'all can have some. But see, the enemy wants to trick us out of togetherness, partnership, wholeness, togetherness with families, friends, jobs. He wants to maximize and highlight when we have challenges with one another, when we have difficulties with one another. But I looked at that and I said, even a business understands the power in working together. They're offering a certain product, describing the product to have a particular type of taste, which means they have to go into business with the King Hawaiian rolls so that their business can flourish even the more. And that's the power of working together. You know, just finding ways to have those conversations when there are difficulties, because you don't want the enemy to trick you out of what you know you can work through, what you know you can get past, because everything's not going to be perfect. I'm sure they've gotten a shipment before where the rolls probably weren't the freshest or what have you, but they can look back and say, overall, how has our business been with them? Have they shown up? How many issues have we had? If we did have issues, which I know they did we talk to the company? Did they try to resolve it? Did we work together? Were they willing to give in? Were we willing to do some things differently? So there's so much power in just understanding everybody's not bad. A mistake does not mean you're the worst person in the world. It does not mean you cannot recover. It does not mean things cannot get better. Again, this is not the particular video where we're talking about people just doing the absolute most. No, you have to use your gift of discernment to really see and get out of your emotions and your flesh, and get out of your leading with loneliness and all of that. And you should be able to recognize, is this person trying? Are they making an effort? Are they willing to communicate? Are you willing to communicate? And start to kind of ask your questions. Is this something worth saving? Is this something worth restoring? Is this something worth coming together for, coming back together? However it may look, you have to understand, is it worth it to remain in business, but in this sense, in partnership? You are in partnership with your job. You're in partnership with so many things. And it's like, we understand it when it comes to the outside world. But see, the devil tries to trick us when it comes to human relationship. And the Bible says no man should be alone. That doesn't mean just a male, like a husband and a wife. No, that just means it is not good for a man to be alone. And so a lot of the times we can get very distracted. We can get very let down. We can lose hope because we kind of like, man, like, you know, even I see a lot of people on social media talk about the dating pool is trash and da-da-da. But don't let that make you give up. Just understand where you're putting your energy to. The moment you realize something is not going to work for you and you went through the necessary steps, again, we're not talking about anything crazy, just move on. But don't let it keep you in an illegal ought with relationships and bonding and forming and getting to know people and holding people to things where it's like, wait a minute, you're not perfect either. Somebody's going to have to work with you and help you. I remember I was talking to somebody, they were going on and on and on and on and on. Now, I had an idea of this person's personality and characteristics. And they were going on and on and on about the other person. A lot about what they were saying about the other person was actually very valid. But I also saw that the other person was making an effort. And I kind of just said, with all due respect, you do realize you can move on all day and night, but you forget somebody has to deal with you. See, we can have this perception of ourselves like, I'm the nicest person in the world, I'm this, I'm that, but you forget somebody has to deal with you because everything about you isn't always nice. Whether it's because it could be so many different factors. Somebody may not like the way you chew. Somebody may not like the way you process. Somebody may not like the way you love music. They have that right. It may seem petty to you. It may seem silly to you. But I always tell people, be careful when you toot your own horn, because you forget that there has to be a receiver on the other end when you give. You're not nice all day, every day, because if that's the case, that would mean you're perfect. And that would mean you should be a multi-billionaire if you perfect, because that means you figured out every aspect of life and you should be selling it. So, pardon me. So what am I saying? Let me take a bite. Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 Mm-hmm. And if you know, you know, because I love mayo with everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all need a napkin? Sorry. There you go. So what am I saying? Grace is everything. Mercy is everything. Because somebody still got to deal with you. I don't care how nice you think you are. I don't care what people that don't see you every day, talk to you every day. I don't care what them people say. We not the nicest. I'm not the nicest all the time. I'm not the easiest to get along with all the time. Yes, there's a lot of good characteristics about myself. But there's also some things about myself that I feel like I would understand if somebody wouldn't want to deal with that. I would understand if somebody feels some type of way about that and they thought that my actions, my behavior, my words, or whatever the case may be is a non-negotiable for them. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So we just have to be mindful. And my biggest thing is, don't let the enemy trick you out of a decent person. And don't think people are coming ready-made and tailor-made. Again, this is not this particular video. We understand people don't want to raise their family members. You don't want to raise no man. A man don't want to raise no woman. But it's like, okay, but we all need work. We all need that other person, because how else are you going to grow without somebody else being an insight? Sharing things that you need to work on. Shedding light on things that you are amazing at. So this video ain't for the ones that got people in their life and they doing the most and you need to No, this is like, hey, don't talk yourself out of something because you don't want to have patience or you don't want to have understanding because you think you're the only one perfect and you think you're the only one that got it all together. So you have to get away from that comparison, like, well, you're not doing this and I'm doing everything. Again, this is not the video where that could also be valid, but be very mindful, because you may hit a plateau where you kind of just coasting and they kind of like, you've been kind of slacking a little bit. It makes sense. Partnership is everything. What do I mean? You can't necessarily have a sandwich without certain ingredients. This creates a partnership. Chips in a sandwich, partnership. Chips sandwich and a drink, partnership. A car and gas, partnership. My hair and braids, partnership. We see it all around us. Partnership doesn't mean perfection. There's things that go into partnership: understanding, unconditional love. Again, not crazy stuff, which granted, you still should love everybody. So loving a person and dealing with a person are two different things, but we're not here for that. Partnership is all around you. I can't drive this car with no tires. I can't drive this car without no gas. I can't drive this truck without certain things. It's just not going to function to its full capacity. So what am I saying? If the world can get it, if the world has figured it out, certainly you should figure it out too. And if you don't have a relationship with God, it's okay. You can still figure it out. But if you have a relationship with Christ, you should really be ahead of the game. You really shouldn't be in a place anymore to where you kind of struggling on how to discern people who should be in your life, circumstances, their actions. We should be kind of getting a little sharper on that. Make sense? Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.